Do you think Japan's pension system will collapse? Many people do, especially younger workers. Every year they hear the same warnings. The population is shrinking. There are fewer workers. There are too many retirees. And eventually many people reach the same conclusion. I'll never receive a pension. But what if that's the wrong question? What if the real danger isn't that Japan's pension disappears, but that it slowly loses purchasing power? Today we're going to look at the reality of Japan's pension system, why it's unlikely to collapse, why it may still be insufficient, and why iDeCo could be one of the most powerful tools available, even if you're already in your 50s. Let's begin. First, let's address the biggest fear. Will Japan's pension system disappear? Probably not. Here's why. Japan's public pension system is backed by the government. The government can adjust contribution rates. It can adjust retirement ages. It can adjust benefit formulas. None of these changes are popular, but governments around the world do them all the time. A complete collapse would create social chaos, and no government wants that. So the more realistic scenario is not collapse. It's gradual adjustment, smaller increases, later retirement, lower real purchasing power. That's a very different problem. And it's a problem many people fail to understand. Because even if you receive your pension, the value of that pension matters. Imagine receiving the same amount of money 20 years from now. Sounds fine. Until you realize food costs more, electricity costs more, insurance costs more, healthcare costs more. The pension still arrives, but it buys less. That's the real threat. Inflation, not collapse. Inflation is silent. It doesn't make headlines every day. It doesn't create panic overnight, but over decades, it quietly reduces purchasing power. And that's exactly why relying on a pension alone can be dangerous. Now here's the good news. You don't need to become a stock market genius. You don't need to trade every day. You don't need to predict the economy. You simply need a second source of retirement income. In Japan, one of the best tools for this is iDeCo, individual type defined contribution pension, or simply your own pension account. Many people ignore it because it sounds complicated. Big mistake. Because iDeCo offers something extremely powerful. Tax advantages. When you contribute to iDeCo, your contributions are generally deductible from taxable income. That means you may pay less tax today. Your investments grow tax deferred. And when you eventually receive the money, there are additional tax benefits available. Few investment accounts offer this combination. This is why many long-term investors consider iDeCo one of the strongest retirement tools in Japan. But let's be realistic. iDeCo is not perfect. There are limitations. The biggest one? You generally cannot access the money until retirement age. That's not a bug, it's a feature. The account is designed specifically for retirement. But it also means you should never put all of your savings into iDeCo. Emergency funds still matter. Cash reserves still matter. Flexibility still matters. Another mistake people make is waiting too long. They think, I'm already 50. It's too late. I missed my chance. Not true. Of course, starting at 25 is better than starting at 55. But starting at 55 is infinitely better than never starting at all. Every year matters. Every contribution matters. Every tax deduction matters. The goal is not perfection. The goal is improvement. That's something many people forget. Retirement planning isn't about becoming rich. It's about reducing future anxiety. It's about creating options. It's about sleeping better at night. And that's where many people misunderstand wealth. Real wealth isn't driving a luxury car. Real wealth isn't showing off on social media. Real wealth is knowing that a surprise expense won't destroy your life. Real wealth is having enough. Japan's pension system will probably continue, but that doesn't mean it will provide the retirement lifestyle you imagine. That's why building your own pension matters. Not because the system is collapsing, but because the world keeps changing. Inflation changes. Governments change. Economies change. The people who prepare for those changes usually suffer less. So if you're worried about retirement, don't focus only on whether the pension survives. Ask a better question. What can I do today to make my future more secure? For many Japanese investors, iDeCo is one of those answers. Not a magic solution, not a shortcut, just a simple, powerful tool that helps build financial freedom over time. And sometimes the boring solutions are the ones that work best. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Do you trust Japan's pension system? Or are you building your own retirement plan? I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video.